Hello, dreamers and curious minds. Welcome back to Sleepy Science and Stories, where we relax, unwind, and explore something amazing about our world before drifting off to sleep. Tonight, we are going to learn about something magical, something that gives life to everything on Earth. It's water. Water is essential for all life. It's the substance that allows plants, animals, and humans to exist. Tonight, we'll talk about why water is so important, where it comes from, and how it moves around our planet. So, snuggle up, close your eyes, and let's dive into the wonders of life-giving moisture. The importance of water. Water is the most important substance in nature, and it's where life began. Every living thing on Earth, from tiny plants to giant animals, depends on water to survive. Water is not only outside of us, but it's also inside every living organism, helping everything from plants to humans function properly. For example, did you know that almost 2/3 of the human body is made up of water? That's right. Water helps our cells, organs, and brains work the way they should. So every time you drink a glass of water, remember, you're giving your body what it needs to grow and stay healthy. The forms of water. Water isn't just one thing. It comes in many forms. Sometimes we see it as liquid, sometimes as solid ice and snow, and other times as invisible gas or vapor. Let's explore each form of water. Liquid water. This is the water we drink, and it's also found in rivers, lakes, and oceans. Liquid water can be fresh, like in rivers, lakes, and ponds, or salty, like in seas and oceans. Solid water. When water gets very cold, below 1 degree, it freezes and becomes solid. We see this in the form of ice and snow. In the wintertime, when it's cold, we often see ponds and lakes freeze over, turning from liquid to solid. Gaseous water. When water heats up, it turns into vapor. This vapor rises into the sky and forms clouds. So, the next time you see clouds in the sky, remember, those clouds are made of water vapor. Oceans, the heart of our planet. Now let's talk about the biggest source of water on Earth, the oceans. Oceans are massive bodies of salt water that cover nearly 3/4 of our planet. They surround continents and separate them from each other. Earth has 4 main oceans: the Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, and Arctic Oceans. Although we have different names for them, these oceans are all connected, forming one huge body of water called the world ocean. Within this vast ocean, we find smaller parts called seas, which are surrounded by land or underwater mountains. The Pacific Ocean is the largest of all the oceans. It takes up half of the water surface of the Earth. A Portuguese explorer named Ferdinand Magellan gave it the name Pacific, which means peaceful. But here is something funny. Magellan and his crew were lucky to sail through it during calm weather. The Pacific isn't always peaceful. it often has strong storms and massive waves. So, even though it's called Pacific, it can have a wild side. The water cycle, Earth recycling system. Did you know that water on Earth is constantly moving? This movement of water from one place to another is called the water cycle. Water evaporates from rivers, lakes, oceans, and even plants, rising up into the sky to form clouds. When these clouds get heavy with water droplets, they release them as rain, snow, or sleet, which falls back down to the ground. This process keeps repeating, and we call it the water cycle. One amazing thing about the water cycle is that the amount of water on Earth never changes. It just moves from one form to another. So, the water you drink today could have once been part of a cloud, a river, or even an iceberg thousands of years ago. Frozen water, glaciers, and icebergs. Did you know that most of the fresh water on Earth is actually frozen? About 3/4 of it is stored in glaciers, icebergs, and the thick ice of Antarctica. Much of the rest of our fresh water is stored underground as groundwater or in the soil. You may have seen pictures or videos of icebergs. Icebergs are huge floating chunks of ice that drift through the cold northern seas and around Antarctica. The word iceberg actually means ice mountain in German, and it fits perfectly. Icebergs are like floating islands of ice. Here is something cool. Only a small part of an iceberg is visible above the water, while most of it is hidden beneath the surface. Imagine an entire mountain of ice just floating silently in the ocean. How rivers are born. Rivers don't just appear out of nowhere. They start as small streams, often high up in the mountains. The streams are fed by rain, melting snow, and underground springs. As they flow down the mountains, they grow bigger, carving out paths in the land and creating valleys along the way. The journey of a river is amazing. It travels from its source, gathering more and more water until it reaches the sea. Along the way, rivers provide water for plants, animals, people, making them one of the most important sources of fresh water on Earth. The saltiest place on Earth, the Dead Sea. Now let's talk about a place with the saltiest water on Earth, the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is a lake between Jordan and Israel. It has no rivers or streams flowing out of it. Because of the hot, dry climate, the water in the Dead Sea evaporates quickly, leaving behind lots of salt. This makes the water incredibly salty, about 10 times saltier than the ocean. The Dead Sea's water is so salty that you can actually float on it without sinking. People can even read a book while floating on its surface. Isn't that amazing? The coastline of the Dead Sea is also special because it's the lowest land area on Earth. Water as a source of life. Water is truly magical. Not only does it keep us alive, but also where life began on our planet. Millions of years ago, tiny organisms appeared in Earth's waters, and over time, these little life forms evolved into more complex creatures. Today, water continues to be the source of life for everything on Earth, plants, animals, and humans alike. From the oceans to the rivers and lakes, every drop of water is essential to keeping our planet full of life. Earth, water, and the solar system. Earth is a very special planet because of its abundance of water, which makes life possible. Did you know that Earth is one of 8 planets in our solar system that orbit around the Sun? But Earth is unique because it has the perfect conditions for liquid water, which is why life can exist here. Conclusion. And that's our story about life-giving moisture. Water is truly magical. It's essential for life, constantly moving in the water cycle, and it comes in so many different forms. Whether it's frozen in an iceberg, drifting as clouds in the sky, or flowing in rivers and oceans, water is always there, supporting life on Earth. As you lie in bed tight, think of all the amazing places water has been and all the life it supports. Remember that every drop is part of Earth's beautiful journey, bringing life, motion, and wonder. Good night, little explorers. Sleep tight and remember, there is always something amazing to discover tomorrow.